Welcome to this is the first episode of the year of 2024 for me. This is the first episode of Ball Sports. I am Matt Mascarenas. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I hope everybody's staying warm because boy, it's cold outside. It's cold. And I think today, I don't know where exactly you're watching this. If you're watching this here locally, I am here in the Rocky Mountain region, Denver, Colorado. But it is cold. It's cold outside. It's a little bit windy here where I'm at, but it's really cold. So, I don't know. If you don't have to be outside today, like if you're not working and all that stuff, I just don't see a reason to be out there. I was going to go ice fishing this morning, but I was getting my gear ready and my coffee. I had it. It was just out there I was out there for maybe 5-10 minutes, just getting my stuff ready, and my coffee froze. And it really had me thinking twice about if I should get out today. So I didn't go out, made the kids breakfast anyway. Had a good morning. We're here. We're gonna get I'm excited. This is the first episode of the year. So real quick before we get going with the show, a lot of things to talk about, to chat about today. Big NFL playoff weekend. That was a lot of fun. And if you watch those games, I don't know if you watched the game on, because it was on Saturday night. It was Houston and Cleveland, which was not a very good game. I really don't think it was ever close. I mean, I was in and out of that game because I was watching some women's college basketball on the other channel. So I was in and out of that game. And then Caitlin Clark, my God, she's so freaking good. So, but anyway, before I really get into it, if you want to follow us here at Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle, you can do that at e5280sports.com. You can follow me, Matt Mascarenas1 on X or Twitter, or it used to be Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at HouseDad Matt. That's me. And you can also get all the stuff that we have and we put out as far as blogs, articles, podcasts, shows, things like that over at e5280sports.com, as you can see right there above the screen. So, man, let me shuffle some papers here because I got some notes and stuff, but my goodness. That game Saturday night, the Chiefs, the Dolphins. I mean, that's where we're going to start. We'll get into that one because I really don't know. Like I said, that Houston Cleveland game was just, there was really nothing exciting about it outside of watching what CJ Stroud can do. And my goodness, do you fault the Carolina Panthers for the choice that they made, or is that's just what they did? That's just the choice that they made, and they have to deal with it. But there were a lot of nasty things being said about CJ Stroud and the things that he's done this entire season, and you could throw him in that MVP conversation, legitimately throw him in that MVP conversation, which it's crazy because even in the NBA, we run into these discussions, we run into these issues where what a player does in the postseason kind of amplifies like the time you get to see them in the postseason, and it amplifies the MVP, or amplifies them, and it said, man, they should be the MVP, even though we all talk about and say the MVP is a regular season award. But CJ Stroud got hurt. He had the concussion issues, and I think he was dealing with a leg or an ankle or something. I want to say, I feel like it was something like that. But just because of that missed time there, you really can't. I think it's Lamar Jackson's award. He's going to win it. But you could definitely put CJ in that conversation. You could put Jordan Love in that conversation too. But like I said, to have Houston there with D'Amico Ryans, and then now the quarterback situation, pretty much, I mean, that's it. You're probably going to see some kind of a sophomore regression, sure, but I don't think it's going that dude's pretty damn good, man. That dude's pretty good. And to go from where Houston was or has been in the past 5 years as a team that's been getting by with head coaches, just hiring guys, just keeping guys just to keep the seat warm, essentially, that's what it felt like. But to see where they're at now with the right person in charge, the guy who turned down the position here in Denver is building a pretty good situation over there in Houston. So like that's pretty much all I have to say about that. We'll really see who plays who, but it looks like we'll get into a situation where it's probably the Packers, or not the Packers, but the Texans are probably going to play. I would imagine they're going to play either Kansas City or the Bills. It depends on who wins tonight. Because if the Steelers win, then the remaining seed, the lowest remaining seed will play the highest remaining seed. I believe that's how it goes. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Also, by the way, real quick, if you haven't seen, now this is just a little glimpse. I think this was a couple hours ago in Buffalo. Well, not a couple hours, still dark. This was early in the morning. So I've tried to find more recent pictures. All I can find is video, but that is what you're looking at there in Buffalo. I did see some news. I did watch some news things where they had they showed, it's not like there's more sun, but that's what you're looking at. And I made a joke on Twitter, X. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm ever going to call it X. That just sounds stupid. I noticed, I was watching on there, and there was a lot of issues getting to the stadium. So I was like, this is kind of weak, canceling the game, but it was more of the getting to and from the stadium. That's what it was more. That's what the issue was. It didn't really have much to do with the actual snow on the field in the stadium. It had more to do with getting there. And I would love to see a football game with those conditions. I mean, it would just be something that would be, from an entertainment standpoint, it'd be kind of interesting. And there's no hurry to get the game in. You got an opportunity to get it in today. I really don't have any interest in watching that game today, but I'll watch it. I really think that the snow throws a wrench for Buffalo, but it still plays to their hands. Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback. Is this going to help level that out? No, because I think Josh Allen is a hell of a cold weather quarterback. He played football in Laramie. So, I mean, let's just look at things the way we've seen them, and Josh Allen's perfect for those elements. So I don't think that the Steelers are, Josh Allen can just the things he can do in these cold, this weather. It's crazy. So yeah, like I said, it could be a fun game. Maybe, I don't know. But the next game we got tonight is Tampa Bay and Philly. Man, could Sirianni be fired if they lose tonight? I think for me, that's the biggest storyline, because I don't think any one of these teams is going to go to beat San Francisco in an NFC Championship game. Yeah, I know I put in San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, and I'm a Packer fan. How dare I? I'll get to that. But I think the biggest storyline, and for me in particular, is to see if they lose, if Philly loses, does Sirianni, does that seat get turned up? Like does a locker room turn on him? I mean, what happens? The guy start, because you got Kelsey, who's a very very um he's a big voice in that locker room. I wonder if he has anything to say. The other, Philly's going to lose it as a town as a whole is going to absolutely freaking lose their mind. If you think Dallas is bad, Philly will lose it because of the slide that they've just been on this past month. And that's the biggest storyline for me is if Sirianni gets canned, if Philly loses to Tampa Bay tonight. So I'll be intrigued by that. As far as the on the field stuff goes, Philly hasn't been playing well. They haven't. So it's hard to look at them and say, well, you can have you're going to have what you're going, and they to run the ball. Like, are they going to stick with the run? Are they just going to let, and AJ Brown, isn't he hurt? I thought I saw something that he's out. He's going to be out for the game tonight. So all they have left is on the guy on their side, Devontae Smith. Is like what this that's what I'm looking at here. It's like there's really nothing that Philly can look at right now and say they're doing well. Somebody's playing well, they're running, not running the ball well. They're not playing good defense. So it's really hard to look at Philly and be like, is this going to be a good game for them? Philly fans, I don't know how much confidence you have. I mean, you're playing Baker Mayfield on the other side in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I don't like, is that enough to Mike Evans has been playing well. Tampa Bay's been running the football well. With the dudes, is it White that's over there? I think that's who the running back that's over there. I could be way off on that one. All reaction, no research in this situation. Chris Godwin's going off over there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think you're going to see a Tampa Bay upset, if you want to call it an upset, because of the way these teams have been playing. So I just look at these games tonight, and I really think that they're one-sided football games. Especially the one with Pittsburgh and or with Buffalo and Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be. It might look close, but I don't know if Pittsburgh's ever going to be in the game. I don't know. I don't know. Watt's out, right? I mean, I don't know. I just don't give Pittsburgh that much of a shot when you're going up against probably one of the best cold weather quarterbacks in that you have in the league right now. So I think Tampa Bay. I wouldn't say that that's more of that could be a closer game, obviously, but I just don't. I don't know what you're going to get from Philly. I really don't. I have no idea. And I'm hoping for the worst in Philly losing, because I want to see turmoil over there. I really feel like that dude's got the Sirianni has got a little too big for his britches. He's coming in the lot or going in the tunnel. I remember yelling at Casey, even though I was like that was happy because Casey, I can't stand Kansas City, but you see what there he was doing all that, pumping his chest out, always talking smack. I feel like he's one of the most shit talking coaches that's in the league. And I think that all that stuff's kind of coming back to bite him in the butt. So we'll see what happens with that. I just don't see, I don't see a positive or a good Philadelphia team coming into this game. I think all the momentum is on Tampa Bay side. So I got Tampa Bay winning that game, and I got Buffalo destroying Pittsburgh, even though the score might not say that. I mean, we can say a 20-6 football game is a blowout in these conditions, and that's what I'm kind of thinking. So those two games, that's how I think it's going to go play out. But the games over the weekend were the most intriguing to me. And like I already hit Houston, they're coming, and that's the AFC definitely looks like it's coming, and there's a lot of good young teams that are either right there or with a switch here, switch click there. Who knows? But and a lot of other coaching moves too. We might get into that today, but I don't know. We'll see how long I got today and see how long I can talk. So see how long anybody who sits here and watches me. So what, real quick, real funny thing about this, what we got real quick before I get back into it. I usually record these shows and then play them to go live later. I was getting ready to do that. And I didn't realize that I went live with the show instead of record. So in the beginning, I was a little taken back on, oh, wait a minute, I hit the wrong deal. But here we are. Kansas City Chiefs, Miami Dolphins. That game was, that tells you, that's like a tale of, I don't know, I don't want to call it like, because I didn't Miami win the game in where they play in Germany? Was that in Germany? I feel like they won that game, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I thought they won that game. What I saw in that game was a team that was cold and that was playing football like it was cold, had the mindset that it was cold. It looked cold. And then I saw a team that didn't even think about that. Now, that doesn't make any sense. What does that have to do with football? If you've been in those conditions, if you've played, if you've coached, if you whatever you've done in those conditions, you know what I'm talking about. You know that feeling. You have to get that experience. You have to understand, or you have to feel what that feels like to know you're either in it or you're not, or you're just there to survive and stay warm. I've been in all those situations, all of them. I've been in situations where I'm just there to survive and stay warm. And if I have a good game or I participate at all, okay, but I could care less because it's freaking cold. I've been in those situations where it doesn't matter. I don't even feel the cold, and it's the same. It's cold. It's freezing. I know what that. But then at the same time, I know what it's like to not be focusing, to not be thinking about because of the cold. So what I saw there with Miami, even the coaching staff, Mike McDaniel, Vic Fangio, even though he was in the booth, he looked like he was frozen. He looked like he was frozen, froze out. I guess you want to, however you want to put it. But I mean, you had 14 rushing attempts from running backs in that football game for like, I think it was like 62 or wait, was it eight? I don't even know. I can't remember exactly how many yards, but I remember the attempts from Etienne and Mozart. Now I know both of those guys are coming off injuries, cold weather. And if you've had injuries, been lingering injuries, those don't go well in cold weather too. They don't. Balls don't fly far in cold weather. So if you have a quarterback that can't put a lot of air or can't get the ball down the field in a hurry on a rope, however cliche you want to talk about throwing the football, that's going to kill that too. The throw, because that ball Tua threw to Tyreek should have been a straight up touchdown. It shouldn't have been Tyreek Hill having to bing bang boom his way into the end zone. It was 50 something yards and I on that play, and I think Tyreek Hill had 8 targets for 5 receptions for a total of 62 yards. So the majority of the yards that Tyreek Hill had in that game were on that one play. The play call, the scheme for Mike McDaniel was not fit for those conditions. It was not. You like I said, yeah, okay, if your running backs are hurt or they're injured or they're dealing with injuries and the cold just makes that even worse. 14 attempts, man. In that situation, you got to run the football. I would think you got to run the football more. He's off the Mike Shanahan tree. There's probably some kind of default running game just in his offense, in his base that he's learned. There's a running game there. So it's really surprising to me that the running yards or the running attempts, the rushing attempts weren't there to put that team in a better position, I felt, to be successful and to throw and to get those plays going to a fast guy like Tyreek Hill. Because that play that they ran had him in motion, and he just basically, it was almost in the sense of wheel route, if I can remember right. I got it kind of pulled up. I can probably look at it. But I just feel like that was that game in general well, the game plan, I should say, for the Miami Dolphins offensively, I think is a learning experience for Mike McDaniel. He's going to probably go into the year, into this offseason, looking to get more of a big bell cow running back. And I mean somebody that can deliver in those situations. You play in the AFC East. You're going to go to New England. You're going to go to Buffalo. Okay? You're going to go to New York. You're going to go and play these places late in the year where you need that kind of back, where you need that kind of running game. Just that downhill, get out of the way, give me 3 to 4 yards so I can set up my crossers behind these guys, so I can do my play actions with Tua. I can get my fastest guy in the league, wide receiver, on some motions and things like that. I just think that there's more pieces that they need to add to that Miami football team in order for them to get over the hump. The Kansas City Chiefs, they looked, I think they kind of like were like, hey, we're still the Chiefs. That was a game that we're still the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes was, I'm still Pat Mahomes. Whether or not I can't stand that freaking guy, but I mean, he's a football player. He's a baller. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I've said that the entire season. He's S tier. It starts with him, and then you could level out after that. But he looked. This defense is going to carry that team. Isaiah Pacheco is good. Rice, I thought he got hurt. I got to look back to see if he's okay. I got to look to see if that, but I thought he got hurt. But there's good young talent there. Pacheco in general. Kelsey dropped a lot of balls in the end zone, balls in the red zone where he doesn't normally drop passes like that. I've said for the whole entire season, that's the Taylor Swift effect. You know, that's what you're going to get. That's what happens. It happens. I this is not in anywhere compared to the NFL being an NFL pro, but my golf game, my high school golf game suffered when I got a girl for a serious one, like serious relationship. When I was a junior, my high school golf year was trash. It was horrible. So look, I mean, it's real. It's out there. It happens. So I could see that. It's just very un-Kelsey like. There's a lot of things this season that have been very un-Kelsey like, and I mean, you just kind of look over and say, you don't blame it on her. You don't want to blame somebody, but there's influences and there's things that take away from other things. That's just the way it goes, right? But other than that, I think Pat Mahomes being Pat Mahomes and that defense just doing what it has been all season. It's been one of the best parts, if not the best part of that team, the defense. But I definitely do think that the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, I just said I think, and then I said I think again, is the championship game is you're going to have to see you're going to have to deal with the Chiefs if you want to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC. I'm not going to say it's going to go through Kansas City, but you're going to have to beat the man to be the man, I think, in the AFC, especially after that last week. And then what's left, you're going to have to beat the man to be the man. That's what I think. So moving forward, as far as beating the man, I don't know. I don't know how the Dallas Cowboys I don't know where they go from here. Now, real quick, before I even get into the Cowboys, because everybody's been beating up on the Cowboys all day, and I'm a big time Packer fan, and I got the cheese head behind me here. I guess that would be back here. I got the cheese head behind me. I'm a big time Packer fan. I was dressed up in my Packer outfit, my uniform, my fan uniform yesterday. So I didn't see that coming. I felt like if we could keep it close, meaning the Packers could keep it close offensively. I didn't know defensively that was going to happen yesterday. I did not see that happening. I was hoping that we could get into a turnover battle. I was hoping that we can still a punt return, a kick return, something goofy, something funky like that, get the ball on the 5, score, and then hopefully just go punch back and forth with them, but still have that one kind of score you didn't deserve or you didn't earn, but it just kind of showed up kind of situation to win. I never thought that we couldn't win, but I didn't see that. I did not. Best team in the end, one of the best teams. I think they are the best team in the NFL. They were 8-1 or undefeated on the road, or I'm sorry, at home in Jerry's World there in Dallas. And they and here's one thing too. Here's another thing that I heard this morning. The Packers have a better record in the playoffs in Jerry's World than the Dallas Cowboys do. That's wild. That's wild. They have a winning record, a better playoff record than the Cowboys do in their own building. That's, man, damn. That's cold-blooded if you're a Cowboys fan. They've been destroyed all day today on sports entertainment talk shows. Just absolutely killed, which deservedly so. In deservedly so in the sense where you think that the arrogance, the as a matter of fact, there's just so many, the experts, there's so many things that why I enjoy this, and a lot of fans like me enjoy when teams like the Cowboys lose, is because so many of the national sports entertainers, they go crazy over that football team. You will see today there was at least an hour and 15 minutes straight of how bad the Cowboys are, what the Cowboys need to do, what's next, all that, just straight this morning on sports entertainment talk shows. It was crazy. It was entertaining as hell. I enjoyed it. I was eating my Frosted Flakes, drinking my coffee, enjoying the hell out of it. What happens now? If you ask me, what I would do if I was a Cowboy fan, what I would want to do, and Jerry don't have time for it, but there's nobody that's going to change what needs to be changed there. It's I'm not going to say a blow up, because that would mean that you just blow everything up and trade everybody, because there's a lot of really good pieces there. But it's got to be like something crazy has to happen, because this was supposed to be the year. This was supposed to be the best team they've had since they've had the teams that won the Super Bowl. This was supposed to be it, and they get shellacked. I mean, my Packers went in there and just Aaron Jones, their daddy. We should get the sports entertainer right around here, Vic Lombardi, to go and write a speech. Jordan or Aaron Jones is the Cowboys' daddy, because 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love, my goodness, man! Talk about all the doubters. That there were people that were saying that the Packers wouldn't even retain Jordan Love at the end of this year. They would move on from him. That he wouldn't be that. They didn't even give him a shot. Nobody picked the Packers to win that football game. Nobody did. And nobody picked the Packers to be where they're at right now. The first and only, 7 seed, I know it's only been around for a couple of seasons, to win a playoff game. And the way they did it, like defensively, that has always been an issue for the Packers this whole season, was their helter-skelter, up and down, Jekyll and Hyde defense. One week they're great. Now it's been injuries. They've had injuries up and down. Jair Alexander's been hurt, in and out of the lineup. Walker's been hurt, in and out of the lineup. There's a couple guys too that are out right now indefinitely. And then you flip over the offensive side. Christian Wood's been in and out. Not Christian Wood, but is it? And then you had AJ Dillon's out. Aaron Jones was in and out of the lineup. in and out of the offense. There's just been so many. The offensive line, Runyon's been out. Bakhtiari was out earlier in the year. Earlier that like everybody thought that was just gonna just destroy this offensive line because we were finally getting healthy again. Um, but just the emergence of what Dobbs has been doing, of what Reed has been doing, Kraft, just I mean, the youngest wide receiver, the youngest team in the NFL, and with I think that everybody on that wide receiving corps is either 1 or 2 years in the league. But you didn't expect them to go into Dallas, into Jerry World, and win that football game the way that they did. So that just shows you again, all the sports entertainment that's out there in the world. That's why I always say it's if you don't learn anything, try to be entertained, but don't always try to learn something. A lot of this stuff is for fluff. A lot of this stuff is for clicks, reacts. There's just so many. There's so much mumbo jumbo out there. I almost said I almost cussed, but there's so much crap out there that it's hard to really look and find the good analytics. I don't know how you want to call it, without opinion, without biased opinion. That's just what I've ran into. But you see, there you could see that when every one of those people pick one team, and it happens more than it doesn't, and they're all wrong. They're all wrong, and they're all wrong in the same way. Like there was guys saying, there was people saying that they don't think that this would happen, but the other way, that they were going to be. Keyshawn Johnson had Dallas boat racing the Packers. Stephen A. said it wasn't even going to be close. The hater over there on the NFL network, Kyle Brandt, the MTV guy, he hates the Packers, but I understand why he hates the Packers. But my goodness, though, Richard Sherman finally came out and said, "Well," but he really didn't say he was sorry. He really didn't. It was that dude. That dude's something else. He's something else. He says some dumb stuff, man. Holy smokes. It was just crazy. It was wild. But go Pack go. They go into San Francisco. We'll get into that more this week on what I think they got to do to win that football game. It's going to be a tough one. But if there's any team that's going to go in there and ruin San Francisco's plans, it's a team like Green Bay in what they got going on. But we'll get into that more later on in the week, probably Wednesday or Friday as we get closer to it. The last game, finishing off the playoff weekend, was the Rams and the Lions. Matt Stafford coming back to Detroit, and Jared Goff going against his former team in the Los Angeles Rams. This game was back and forth, truly back and forth football game. There was a lot of things where that I felt, in my opinion, that could have went both ways, that could have sent this game different ways too. There's a couple pass interference issues or calls that didn't get called. There was a call where Tyler Higbee went over the middle. It wasn't a call, but it was a play. Went over the middle, got blasted by a defensive back. I can't remember what his. I think it's. I wanted to say Kirby or something like that, but I don't think it's that. But anyway, you can probably look that up. Pretty nasty injury, but that's just reminiscences of where we are in the NFL as far as hitting low instead of going high. Watching those high shots, those leaving that head neck area alone, head shoulder neck area alone, and going low. Couple of roughing the passer penalties that I thought were suspect. So in my opinion, yes, that was a good football game. Detroit, or the Rams, they had opportunities. Again, like I said, there was a play down there at the end where you could have had holding, you could have had pass interference, defensive pass, DPI. You could have had You could even had a late hit on a defenseless receiver, but you didn't get those fouls. So, am I saying that's why they lost? No, but I am throwing it in there, kind of haphazardly, kind of backhanded, because the whole narrative has been that Detroit got robbed against Dallas a couple weeks ago. So this is makeup, and that's because Detroit benefited last night. Just that whole narrative has been thrown onto this game because of all that. When in reality, yes, I'm still butthurt about this because people don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to this situation. Dan Campbell's already came out and said that they screwed up in sending the eligibles in there wrong, that they shouldn't have did that. The NFL has come out and even said that this is how you're supposed to do it. So I don't understand how you could get robbed, how you could be robbed when you just said that you screwed up, when you said you did it wrong, when you said you were trying to confuse the Cowboys defense, which is also a penalty. How can that narrative still exist that you're getting screwed, or they got screwed last year or last week or the week before, whenever the heck it was? I can't even remember anymore. The Lions didn't get screwed. They screwed themselves. Okay? Please stop. Please stop with all that, with that BS narrative. I absolutely can't stand Detroit Lion fans. You guys deserve everything that you've had. To boo Matt Stafford when he comes in the building after everything he's did for you guys. Yeah, okay, he didn't win a playoff game. Yeah, okay, but are you freaking kidding me? He's the only thing you've had since Barry Sanders and Megatron. And you're gonna boo the dude coming back in here? I almost cussed again. It just fires me up. You go and cry that we got cheated, then you come out and even say, "Oh, we screwed up. That was our bad." And then now, well, we got payback. Good for the players. Good for the coach. Yeah, run through. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of his stuff too. I'm sick of all that. I am ready. If there's anything that I want next week, is to see the Detroit Lions lose and finally be out of the freaking playoffs. Okay, I'll tell you, I'm going for Tampa Bay. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay or Philly next week. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I'm done with the Detroit Lions and all their and then now you got the Broncos and Sean Payton. We want to be like the Lions. The Lions suck ass. They've they come on. I'm that's my number one goal next week that I hope that happens, is the Lions lose and we don't have to freaking see them. We don't have to see Dan Campbell crying. I love everything he does. I love it. I do. I really do. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sick of seeing it. I would rather watch Kansas City and Taylor Swift than Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell pep talk football. You know, want to run through a wall for the guy. Football. I'm done. Over. Detroit Lions. I hope they lose next week. That's it. I hope they lose. Real quick before we get out of here, we had a just kind of, I guess it's breaking news. I was trying to pull it up, but I don't have fast enough fingers. Caleb Williams has officially declared for the draft. Now, he has also, if you didn't see this last week, was trying to see. Now, this is also curious. This is curious to me too, because I wonder if this is something that can go together. If the Bears were going to trade that pick, he was trying to see if the Bears are going to trade that pick, because he doesn't want to go to the Bears. He's pulling the John Elway, Eli Manning. Doesn't want to go to the Bears. So what that might mean, if you want to read into this, is the Bears are going to trade number one. So therefore, Caleb Williams is declaring for the draft. If you want to read into it, that's what you can read into it, that the Bears are trading number one. Now, I know that for sure? No. But if like I said, if you put two and two together, it looks that way. Now, if that's the case, then I think you're going to see some movement, some getting involved there, with some teams that especially a team here locally. Somebody has expressed a lot of interest in that guy, so we'll see, But other than that, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me here live at some random time, 12:45 in the afternoon on a Monday. I really next time I'll pay more attention on it or be more prepared if I'm going to go live. But I would probably pick a better time to go live. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. Before I get out of here, if you can, don't forget to follow us on all the socials that we have down there. Follow us on X at 5280 Sports Radio. Follow me at Matt Mascarenas1. If you want to get on the Instagram, House Dad Matt, that's where you can find me there. I do some decent stuff here and there on Instagram, mostly golf and different things. But anyway, if you want to get at me, Twitter or X is where I'm really most active. That's where you can get at me and talk some shit to me. If you want to get in, mix it up with me. I have fun on Twitter because that's what it's for. It's not there to be serious, take serious, and it's there to mess around, have fun. So if you want to do that, get at us there. If you want to follow the station, or the website, I should say, do that at e5280sports.com. Blogs, articles, more podcasts, more shows like this, daily things that go out, and all that good stuff. You can find it all there. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. Stay warm, stay safe, all that good stuff. We will see you next time.